Today's Bible reading is taken from Book of Sirach, chapter 3, verses 17 to 18, verse 20, 28 and 29. Today's second reading, letter to Hebrews, chapter 12, verses 18, 19 and then 22 to 24. And today's Gospel according to Luke, chapter 14, verses 1 and then 7 to 14. Book of Sirach, chapter 3, verses 17, 18, 20, 28 and 29. My son, be humble in everything you do, and people will appreciate it more than gifts. The greater you become, the more humble you should be. Then the Lord will be pleased with you. The Lord's power is great, and He is honored by those who are humble. There is no cure for the troubles that arrogant people have. Wickedness has taken deep root in them. Intelligent people will learn from proverbs and parables. They listen well because they want to learn. Today's second reading, letter to Hebrews, chapter 12, verses 18, 19, 22 to 24. You have not come as the people of Israel came to what you can feel, to Mount Sinai with its blazing fire, the darkness and the gloom, the storm, the blast of a trumpet and the sound of a voice. When the people heard the voice, they begged not to hear the another word. Instead, you have come to Mount Zion and to the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem with its thousands of angels. You have come to the joyful gathering of God's firstborn sons, whose names are written in heaven. You have come to God, who is the church of all mankind, and to the spirits of good people made perfect. You have come to Jesus, who arranged the new covenant, and to the sprinkled blood that promises much better things than does the blood of Abel. Today's Gospel according to Luke, chapter 14, verses 7 to 14. Chapter 14, verses 1 and then 7 to 14. One Sabbath, Jesus went to eat a meal at the home of one of the leading Pharisees, and people were watching Jesus closely. Jesus noticed how some of the guests were choosing the best places, so He told this parable to all of them. When someone invites you to a wedding feast, do not sit down in the best place. It could happen that someone more important than you has been invited, and your host who invited both of you would have to come and say to you, "Let him have this place." Then you would be embarrassed and have to sit in the lowest place. Instead, when you are invited, go and sit in the lowest place, so that your host will come to you and say, "Come on up, my friend, to a better place." This will bring honor to you in the presence of all the other guests. For everyone who makes himself great will be humbled, and everyone who humbles himself will be made great. Then Jesus said to his host, "When you give a lunch or a dinner, do not invite your friends or your neighbors or your brothers or your relatives or your rich neighbors, for they will invite you back. And in this way you will be paid for what you did. When you give a feast, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame and the blind, and you will be blessed, because they are not able to pay you back. God will repay you on the day the good people rise from the dead." Gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. May God our Father and His Son Jesus fill you with His mercy, peace and love. Amen.